Live from downtown Detroit, home of WDIV and Click on Detroit, Local 4 News at 6 starts now.
Hello, Cleveland. The first debate between President Trump and Joe Biden about to take place here in the Midwest.
A settlement is reached to pay for that disastrous 2016 sinkhole in Macomb County. But how will the money be used?
Questions about the use of force by Detroit police and an arrest captured on video. Tonight, the man seen taking punches from officers tells his side of the story to the Local 4 defenders. Topping our news at 6, Darius Bell says he was trying to protect a friend who had just been tased by DPD officers.
Then he says police turned their focus to him, and as you can see from this video, things got physical. Local 4 defender Sean Lay joins us to provide some more context to this arrest and video, which I understand Detroit police are now looking into this, Sean.
Absolutely. We got a late update from Detroit police. They're telling the defenders tonight that they are investigating the video tonight. We have multiple videos in multiple angles showing what was happening here with police and people Sunday morning, and it was happening in southwest Detroit. Take a look. Video showing Detroit police officers struggling with the man taking him down and then punching him multiple times in his head. The man on the receiving end of those police punches.
My foot is actually cut open on the bottom.
Is 25-year-old Darius Bell, and he is speaking with the Local 4 defenders.
I have a knot on the side of my head. They slammed my head into the concrete, punched me in my side.
Bell says he was demanding to know from officers why they rolled up and took down his friend Kenneth Pearson. Pearson's mom says he weighs 280 pounds. Bell says police used a taser on him, and he was worried the officers were going to seriously hurt him.
They was being very aggressive with him for no reason, and then they tased him for no reason. He never resisted. He never moved out of the position that he was in. He had his hands up the whole time.
You can hear Bell and others asking the officers for their badge numbers. You can even see Bell try to show officers a card of one of his family members who works for Detroit police.
I handed him the card. He grabbed the card, threw the card, and then got aggressive with me.
Bell says he was scared and his instincts told him he was in danger and needed to get away from those officers.
Everything that's going on in the world right now, I don't want them to put a knee in my neck or anything, or shoot me or anything like that. So I was actually kind of afraid.
In the white t-shirt, that's Kenneth Pearson. His mother tells us he's on probation for a gun violation, and her son had a handgun, she says, for protection. Police say they were on patrol. They say they could see a gun in Pearson's waistband, and that's why they moved in.
He said he passed out. They were still on top of him. He said he passed out multiple times. They were still on top of him. He said he couldn't breathe. He told him he couldn't breathe. He said all of that. We're afraid of the police.
What do the police have to say about all of this tonight? They tell us, quote, our professional standards section are reviewing the officers' body camera videos and if the officers' actions complied with the department's use of force policy. You see three people taken down in the video, all three facing various charges tonight. And Kimberly, what's interesting about this whole thing is there was no call to 911, no noise complaints. We are told police were on patrol going street to street when they say they saw Kenneth and saw the gun in his waistband, and that's when this contact began. Back to you.
Okay, Sean, thanks.
Let's take a live look inside Case Western Reserve University in Cleveland, where in just less than 3 hours, President Trump and Joe Biden will take the stage in debate number 1, the first of 3 debates this election season. And if the campaign trail rhetoric is any indication, politeness may be at a premium. The experts predict both candidates will be on the attack, and you wouldn't be surprising if things get personal. It's a moment both candidates, campaigns, and millions of Americans have been waiting for.
I am looking very forward to the debate.
Tonight, President Trump and the Democratic nominee, former Vice President Biden, will go face-to-face in Cleveland for the first of 3 presidential debates.
What do you have to do to win the debate?
Just tell the truth.
The question tonight, will either candidate land a strong enough blow to sway any undecided voters? The debate will feature 6 15-minute segments, including the Trump and Biden records, the Supreme Court, COVID-19, the economy, race and violence in our cities, and the integrity of the election. The president will likely also be asked about the recent New York Times report showing he paid no income tax in 10 of 15 years beginning in 2000.
Voters care more about who is the better candidate to protect their jobs, to continue to grow the economy. This is a pre-debate tactic that they tried in 2016.
For President Trump, it's a key moment to make headway with Americans. His most recent national and swing state polls show Biden with an edge.
The president's focused on the issues. He's focused on the American people right now, bringing back the economy.
For Biden, it's an opportunity to directly call out the president and make his pitch to voters for a change.
He needs to push back where it's appropriate, but mostly he needs to talk to the American people.
Fox News anchor Chris Wallace will moderate. Social distancing rules will be in effect inside the venue, meaning the candidates will not take part in the traditional handshake. There will be an audience of about 70 people, all of whom will undergo COVID-19 testing. The debate starts at 9, expected to last around 90 minutes, no commercial breaks, so straight through for an hour and a half. And we'll have it for you live here tonight on Local 4. Grant Herms and the Local 4 Trust Index team will be fact-checking the debate live this evening. So as you watch the debate on Local 4, you can also follow along on the fact-checking at clickondetroit.com. And by the way, Grant will also be with the Local 4 News Today team tomorrow morning to break it down for you starting at 4:30 a.m.
All right, well, today is a bit of a break before another round of widespread rain.
Yeah. So let's get over to Ben for the updated forecast. Hey there, Ben.
Yes, we are just going headlong into fall, guys. The stuff that's out there tonight, pretty light. Most of it is in the north zone. In fact, right now, it's primarily all north of I-69. It's all that patch roll through Sanilac County. Now another one here in northern Lapeer County. And again, this is just light to maybe moderate rain in a couple spots. But there is a lot of cold air hanging out to our north. And that's going to be sinking down over the next several days. So even though current temperatures, as you look out over the big house, are in the low 60s, we'll be lucky to see that mark as we go forward into the weekend. Rest of tonight takes us through the 50s. Clouds will be at least mostly cloudy there through daybreak or sunset, and then we'll start seeing fewer of them overnight tonight. But more rain tomorrow, and you can get a sneak peek of that on the Local Forecasters app. It's free to download as always in your favorite app store by searching WDIV. Guys?
Ben, we've got to get to some breaking news now. Just in from Warren, where police have made an arrest in a hate crime investigation. The Hall family believes they were terrorized because of a Black Lives Matter sign in their window. Shots were fired at their house. A rock was thrown through the window. Tires were slashed, and messages of hate were written on their vehicles. You know this if you've been following the story along here on Local 4. But again, Warren police tell us they've made an arrest, and we expect to learn more about it tomorrow.
Checking the very latest information on the coronavirus, Michigan is reporting 898 new cases of COVID-19 over the past 24 hours. Sadly, that comes with another 20 lives lost to the virus. New data from the Centers for Disease Control shows new COVID cases among college-aged students spiked in August. Cases rose 55% among 18 to 22-year-olds from August 2nd to September 5th. The biggest increases were seen in the Northeast, which saw a spike of 144%, and in the Midwest with a 123% spike.
Three contractors have agreed to a settlement with Macomb County over the disastrous sinkhole that opened up along 15 Mile Road in Fraser back in 2016. That sinkhole, you'll recall, developed on Christmas Eve of that year, destroying homes and creating a pit the size of a football field. Victor Williams brings us up to speed on this settlement, but also some new prevention measures being put in place.
Well, it's hard to believe that the place I'm standing in right now used to be the site of a home that is no longer here thanks to that 2016 sinkhole. But the good news is that a $12.5 million settlement has been reached, and we now have an idea of who's being held accountable.
It was a nightmare.
Helen Finnegan can still vividly remember Christmas Eve of 2016. It was on that day a massive sinkhole the size of a football field developed in Fraser near 15 Mile in Eberlin. But now it appears that wrong is being made right with millions of dollars.
$12.5 million. That's the biggest award that Macomb County, the government, has actually ever received in history.
Macomb County Public Works Commissioner Candace Miller ultimately blamed human error in the sinkhole forming in the first place, saying that certain protocol wasn't followed back when workers were doing sewage rehab work going back to 2014.
What happened was really one of the largest infrastructure disasters, certainly the largest in Macomb County's history, and probably one of the largest in the entire state of Michigan's.
Now the insurance company for the 3 contractors who made the mistake will be responsible for paying the large lump sum to the county.
We're going to fix this moving forward. We're going to take that money, use that money moving forward so we don't have this problem again, because in the long run, it's going to be a savings.
And they're working to make sure something so catastrophic won't happen again.
This is good. What they've done, they've done a good job.
And the process has already been started in making sure that they don't have another problem below the surface. Victor Williams, Local 4.
Okay, Victor, updating you now on a story we brought you last night at 11. A prosecutor files charges in an attack on a man who had blue lights in support of police on his home. This happened Saturday in Rochester Hills. The victim says he was going inside his house when a man noticed his blue lights, yelled at him, then punched him in the head and broke a window before running off. Police responded and arrested 24-year-old Justin Michael Brown. He's now charged with home invasion and resisting and obstructing police. He's being held at the Oakland County Jail and will be back in court next month. A former Catholic priest is charged with sexual abuse in a case dating back to the late 70s in Metro Detroit. Father Gary Berthiaume is now 78 years old. He was arrested yesterday. He faces a charge of second-degree criminal sexual conduct against a minor. The victim was 14 years old at the time. Berthiaume was a priest at Our Lady of Sorrows in Farmington in 1977 when the alleged incident occurred. He was convicted that same year of abusing 2 other children and served time in the Oakland County Jail, but he kept his job and was transferred to Cleveland. The new charges are part of Michigan Attorney General Dana Nessel's pledge to investigate all credible allegations of sexual abuse within churches around the state.
All right, still ahead here at 6, we cannot explain everything in this home security video, but we do know why Dearborn Heights police want to find and speak with the man you see here. Jamie.
What brought together the Ford Motor Company, a man from Huntsville, Alabama, and this couple from Canton? It's a wonderful story, and you will be inspired. I'll tell you all about it next on Local 4.